So if you're a brand, how would you market this Gen Z?
Oh bro, it's tough.
I've done based on the people around me. वो हो रहा था and बहुत confusion हो रही थी और नहीं, I couldn't find my way and then so everybody's playing a different game. You have to play a different game according to that.
You know, you can be the number one in your industry, but if you don't have people to share it with, if you don't have family, friends, if your health is garbage, are you really successful?
Gen Z, fame, money, and content. In today's episode, we have two of India's rising influencers, Agasthya and Tarini. These two are not only creators who make you laugh, but are also extremely smart for their age. Tune into the whole episode and comment your thoughts. What did you think about the episode? And make sure you subscribe.
What happened in October 2022?
What happened in October?
Arey, my real. So I made a podcast on the worst months of.
Oh, right.
Done my research, guys.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, research.
Research
Your team deserves a promotion, bro.
He's the
Raise.
team.
तूने खुद किया है.
अब तो बोल रहा था
My
कि
guy,
Nikki-
you deserve a raise yourself now.
You deserve a
Bro,
raise.
that's mad.
19.
You researched this yourself?
Yeah.
Wow,
अभी
bro.
डाली मैंने, अभी
That's
अभी
mad.
डाली।
Acha, oh.
Otherwise, it can't go from them to me to you know. I won't get the flow.
Good point.
So
Tea with Tarini. You want another chai?
हाँ, tea with Tarini is my podcast.
तभी कह रहा हूँ.
कर ले.
Use at all. No, I will start again. I say that every
Every
month.
YouTube.
But October 2022 was a really I wouldn't say bad time, a very low time for me, right? I was in college, third year of college, so मैंने college life नहीं जी. I didn't do anything in college. 2 years COVID, third year full. मतलब I was doing creation full time. Also because I enjoyed it and really wanted to do. I didn't want to miss out on opportunities I was getting, so I was genuinely into it. So missed out on a lot of making friends, missed out on a lot of meeting people. College is when you start your socializing journey. I feel like तुम events पे जाते हो तुम मिल ही लेते हो 4 लोगों से and you get that confidence. मेरे पास उतना नहीं था तभी. I had these 5 people and to stick to those 5 people because it was just convenient for me and my family, of course. Now it started being a little weird for me because I started seeing my friends जो कॉलेज में मेरे 4 थे which were my junior college, मतलब 11th 12th के friends थे जो अब तक चल ही रहे थे क्योंकि मैंने नए बनाए नहीं. Now they started meeting 10 other new people and I started feeling like okay, they're going to forget
Isolated.
me because and I can't do anything about it. I can't leave my job and just show up every day to meet them because that's how they connect with college stuff. And I tried my best, right? I did as much as I could in college. I did all those fests and everything. But somewhere in there, I felt like I'm losing people, which is very normal, right? It's very normal. That's what everybody told me. You will. This is the age where you will. But I was like, but what do I do now? ये सब लोग चले गए उनकी अच्छी फ्रेंडशिप बन गई. Every time I used to go, I used to feel so lonely because they are talking about 10 things and I don't have anything to talk about except work. And they don't relate. They're like, हाँ ये क्या तू सुबह से रात तक काम करती है तो हम क्या करें?
I feel like we were almost thrown into something else that we ourselves didn't expect it would become something like this.
And we were busy adapting to that, then to
Exactly.
adapting to the social situation
and
of our
they
colleges.
were being regular 19, 20-year-olds.
You outgrew, na?
Bro, I don't
You
think
did something ahead of your age.
Yeah, but I don't think, bro, outgrew क्या होता है बहुत
So
negative
negative हो
connotation
गया.
में ले सकते हैं
That
ना
is
लोग.
true. हमारी-
इसीलिए
Yeah.
because I don't think उनकी कुछ गलती है. I don't think हम उनसे
Fair.
कुछ
True.
ऐसा
Because
कर
they
रहे
were living, if we didn't have this, like till date I say this, right? I want to say that luck somewhere is involved. I know
Yeah.
there's so much timing, there's so much of
Of
it
course.
involved.
All of us.
क्योंकि बाकी के लोग, the things we are doing at our age, the money we are earning at our age, it's practically impossible for somebody even like a 27-year-old to be able to get that. So it has all been so
Right
crazy
place
for
at the
us.
right time.
Touch wood, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good amount of wood around. Whatever we do. But coming back to that, so I started feeling that, right? I started feeling lonely, and I was like, मैं तो सब कर रही हूँ. My work life is on like the peak of it, but I'm still going to so many events, seeing the same people, and feeling so alone because there are no new conversations. One thing in art, this is if you stick to the same 5 people, not in a way that oh, those 5 people, they'll get boring. No, friends will always stay friends. But you need something to tick your brain constantly. I have been that kind of a person who needs new conversations, who needs new perspectives, who just wants to know, curiosity, stimulation, constant stimulation. And नॉट लाइक रील्स वाला बट इन लाइक ह्यूमन फॉर्म एंड मैं उस सेम ग्रुप को सेम जगह हर जगह मिल रही थी एंड आई वॉज लाइक आई नीड न्यू कॉन्वर्जेशंस एंड वो नहीं मिल रहा था एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई वॉज ऑल्सो मूविंग आउट ऑफ माई हाउस सो इट वॉज अ लिटिल लाइक it wasn't stressful because I was 10 minutes away from my family, which is again a very convenient situation to be in. But it was a change. It was a change and everything was changing together.
Yeah, it's
so
difficult.
मैं तो full डर गई and I was going through something but I didn't understand it. I was like ये क्या हो रहा है मुझे? I couldn't call it anxiety. I couldn't call it depression. I didn't know what to call it. It's a weird void.
It's dealing with change. Like my therapist has told me this at least 5 times now, that I will exactly how you're saying now. I'll say 10 things like this is happening, that is happening, blah blah blah, and I will try to explain it to her that what I'm feeling is probably wrong, and then she will tell me ki Ayush, these are difficult things, it's okay to feel like that. I was like, fair enough. It is difficult to shift houses, and I was cribbing about house shift shit and all that.
Stuff.
And everybody around, like if they've not done it, they're like, हाँ घर मोमोज पाकर स्कूल आओ करवा दो. मेरे को तो सबने यही बोला. And also like people, I never celebrated the fact that I moved into a house at 21. Like no, 20, I was 20 तभी. Because people around me were like, हैं, like ठीक है. So I was also ठीक है. And that's when I realized that I have always, like abhi, like when I look back in retrospect, I realized that I have surrounded my perspective of things I've done based on the people around me. वो हो रहा था and बहुत confusion हो रही थी और नहीं, I couldn't find my way. And then I went to Bangalore and I went alone. I went for Tech Sparks. Okay, and went there alone. Yeah. And I met these hyped founders, Akshay Aishwarya and Ayush Vadva. I met him there. And that was the first time in a very, very long time I had spoken to somebody as my own person. Not as somebody's friend, not as... I had to go and be like, hi, I'm Tarini, this is what I do. Because I'd never had to do that in a room before.
That was the time you got confident?
Yeah, but that was a time when I was like, okay, I can be my own person. I don't need 10 people to introduce me, or I can go and talk to people and people would want to talk back because people just want to talk. Everybody wants to talk. मैं तो कुछ ज़्यादा ही बोल रही हूँ अब. But everybody wants to talk. And तभी समझा मुझे. And then my life changed because I started talking to more people, like even at parties, like even I wasn't scared of being alone somewhere. I was like, okay, if you have something to say and if you are open to listening, period, there you will always find a person in a room.
I want to understand from both of you. Again, we covered it a little bit that you are more of a... I think personally you're very observational and then you pick things from a conversation and then you make a reel around that. That's the kind of person you are. And I think you feel things and then you, in your own way, express it. So what is your process or formula, like 3 steps, 4 steps, and then again?
Bro, my formula has always been pretty simple. If I experience something in my life, I've realized that we all think we're so different from each other. We're not really different, bro. सबको पिंकी फिंगर पे या पिंकी टो पे फट के लगता है ना, सबको इक्वली उतना ही दर्द होता है, bro.
एक बार तो
And you fucking curse that bed corner also. अब रूम में आप अकेले हो, सब लोग करते हैं, bro. You think कि भाई ऐसा मैं, why should I say this out loud? But I realize if I say it out loud, literally crores of people will relate to this. So that's my entire thing. If I can look at anything, so I have 2 ways. Either I'm always looking, right? I have this list of ideas. There are over 60, 70 ideas in my notes right now that I can pick up any. It's like a pointer. Usko utha ke, fir main, so my process is what I do is I have a whiteboard in my studio, in my office. I write a word, okay? For example...
So this is step 1.
Step 1. So what I do is, if I have, then this is not only for reels. By YouTube ke liye bhi यही करता हूँ.
Content creation process.
Entire. So agar I bought a new leather jacket, let's say, more Agasthya, okay? I buy a new leather jacket. I write leather jacket in a bubble, okay? Then whatever the first 5 words are that come to my mind, what type of content can I create? And this is the good thing about having different buckets of content. So one idea can be Sobo boy, right? Sobo boy leather jacket पहन के club में जा रहा है. वो एक idea हो गया, slice of life, type of relatable. दूसरा हो गया an outfit around a leather jacket. Correct. Third हो गया अगर मैं sit down कर रहा हूँ, अगर sit down में vibe ऐसी, if I'm telling a story about when I am out, at dinner or something, story time, so the outfit that I would have worn to a dinner, I will wear in the YouTube video, so people can connect to it a little more. मैं lighting ऐसे कर लूँगा, blue या red, it looks like your ambience type. So I'd make these lines and then I see कि कौन से पेज पे कंटेंट बेस्ट जाएगा. सो इन दिस केस मैंने सोबो वाला बनाया था एंड दैट रील रियली वर्क. मैंने कुछ 13-year-old बॉय आउटसाइड अ क्लब या ऐसा कुछ तो बनाया था. सो that is my kind of process. I'm very observational with what is happening in my own life. मम्मी चिल्ला रही है, मैंने कपड़े अंदर नहीं रखे. सबके घर पे होता होगा. और मम्मी रात को 8 से 10 के बीच में ही क्यों फटती है ऐसे, मतलब why does that frustration come right before sleeping? वो भी कुछ तो साइकोलॉजी होगी उसके पीछे, right? It's not only my mom, all moms are this because I speak to my friends also. So then I think कि इसके अराउंड रील बनाते हैं, but not just about moms. Specific की 8 to 10 के बीच में what happens to them. So I think what's happening to people around me, what I'm seeing कि मेरे दोस्त के घर पे हूँ और वही एग्जैक्ट टाइम पे उसकी मम्मी उस पर भड़क रही है. ये मेरे साथ भी होता है. रिलेटेबल टॉपिक है, इस पे वीडियो बना सकते. I was not evolving पहले, जब when I had that 1 year kind of 1.5 year kind of.
What did you change about it? What did you pivot?
I realized I had put my brain on autopilot. I was like दिन की मतलब every alternate day एक रील जानी चाहिए, जा रही है ना, उसको ज़्यादा काम क्यों डालूँ? Why do I sit? Why do I ideate more? Why do I make it? How do I go that extra mile? When I was reading Think and Grow Rich, there's a principle, going the extra mile.
Yeah.
So I realized that clicked, bro, randomly कि this is missing.
What is your process, Tarini?
I'm gonna give it a shot and say no, not at all. But
It's ready.
Okay, but I feel for me it comes from his is more observational, mine is more inspirational. Like today, if a story comes to me, it comes to me types. Like that, I made this Aisha wala reel, right? Like I made a reel where like Aisha in Bombay ki barish. Okay, so it's a wake up set ka audio, and Bombay में बारिश हो रही थी, मुझे जाके शूट करना था. Aisha, I'd just seen like 2-3 reels about wake up set. I was like, okay, so let me make it Aisha going around in Bombay ki barish and how she would do it without sit.
Give me an example on like the recent reel. How did you write it? What is the thought process?
So okay, I've written one line. You're not preventing the fall, you're just seeing how you could fall. Like it's just a random light, right? Like you're not preventing a fall when you are like maybe falling in love, falling out or something. You're not preventing it, but you're just overthinking about how you could fall. And it's just something I thought about, so I just write it, right? To work on, I have something called Do You Ever Wonder? Hope I See You Again. The silence keeps getting louder. I care about what the world thinks. So much to be grateful for. Love is such a funny thing. There are like random lines that have hit me during anything I've felt. Like silence keeps getting louder is something about my house. Because I stay at home. I love being alone. But also certain times the silence of people around me, like nobody being there. And the loneliness you feel, but you're not alone. It just keeps getting louder in your head because you're giving it that echo chamber for it to be loud in your head. So all these little things, and then whenever I get time, I sit on it, and I've written I write random lines. They don't rhyme, nothing. They just what I feel, and I write them. And then I just one day sit back and like whenever I have a free head to do so, that's my poems. Feel zone. And that's why I put out my poems also in a very slow manner. It's not something that fat will come every 2 weeks. It'll come in a very less frequency because I've genuinely put my like heart into it, and I sit for 2 hours and I write it into a story form. So feelings are at a really high level, and for poems and like that point of storytelling. And whenever I feel like I do voiceovers also a lot here and there, but it's purely coming from what I feel and things I hear and things I get to know, things I love. That's why I like to hear different perspectives now. I'm open to listening also a lot.
And there's a common notion with Gen Zs that they have decently high EQs, but they're not able to express like
it.
we are said that Gen Z ko baat karni nahi aati. Like Gen Z don't express as much about themselves. They'll be like, we are very pro about what's happening in the political
thoughts
scenario.
thoughts are there
हैं,
for
but
sure.
कभी बोल नहीं
Feelings
पाते हैं. But she obviously is more out there with expressions, and then you come second. I'm obviously but I want to understand, this is actually part of Gen Z question, but कैसे आता है, मतलब how does this happen? Is this specific to you, or do you see this around your circle also?
I think we feel a lot. Like feelings to hai. I think people have slowly started becoming vocal about it because we are like, even now if you see the content around you, a lot of people have been starting talking in the content. Like a lot of people are sharing like stories and all that. So I feel the entire point of, okay, there is a safe space for you to talk about. Like I have so many DMs where people are, my poem का comment section is people writing more poems
Yeah.
and writing their stories.
Yes, I've seen
नीचे 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 तो मेरी तो और poems बनती है उससे stories पढ़ के. तो I think as soon as they find a space where they can talk, they will start. If they can't find it, they will keep it to
Community.
themselves. You need that space to talk. Again, reaching to Taylor Swift, but she's given us that through her music. You will see 5 people listening to the same song because they felt that, और वो उनका emotional वो हो गया. जब stories पे share कर देते, वो उनका emotional outlet हो
I
गया.
think rappers are also good with doing this.
हाँ.
You know, I feel like we growth hack also sometimes.
You realize it just now
What?
that you growth hack also.
No, I do it very consciously. I was like, I missed that point. That's also an important point in the process.
कि कभी क्या डालना है.
कभी क्या डालना है, which is also very, it's not even like a trend कि कभी ट्रेंड चल रहा है, ट्रेंड भी नहीं है, बट ऐसा वीडियो आई एम श्योर शी नोज, आई नो, इसके अराउंड वीडियो बनाऊंगा, ये टॉपिक, ये मैं ऐसे डिलीवरी दूंगा, ये 3 मिलियन वीडियो है.
Playing it smart also is a thing. I mean, सब कुछ
Exactly.
हवे में तो नहीं ना कर सकते.
Exactly.
So even when my poems, like I know for a fact, I write about everything. I will put out everything in the end. Sometimes 2 in a line will be a continuous story about a boy. Because I know that girls, 13-year-olds, not 13 but like 13 or 24, everybody has, there are, I mean, कितनी लड़कियां हैं, सबके दिल में कुछ तो हो ही रहा है, पता है इतना तो मुझे.
Exactly, if you know.
मेरे साथ हो रहा है, मेरे बाजू में 10 लोगों के साथ हो रहा है, तो बाकी लोगों के साथ हो ही रहा है. But
कौन है ये लड़का?
मेरे साथ नहीं हो रहा है.
That's a good point. I think I'm a Gen Z who has sort of. I'm also very like I also feel that I have high EQ, but I'm just not good at expressing it.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, I made a LinkedIn post about founders, around founders. That just blew out of proportion on LinkedIn. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that traction क्यों
बहुत
आ रहा है?
traction आया था.
I'm getting inbound mails from founders and business मिल रहा है मेरे को वहाँ से. तो
And they are relating to you, right?
Huh?
They are relating to.
They're relating to
Exactly.
And like nobody talks, no, in your this also nobody talks because
Same.
सबने का same ही है, safe space का है. But so this is a conversation. So Nikhil Taneja has the BM man, yeah. So yesterday he
That was
was
very
talking
nice.
about it, right? He was like, men when given a safe space will talk about career, will talk about money, will talk about heartbreaks, will not talk about their feelings. And that is so true. Because even, and we were all like, oh shit, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Because
it's difficult to find.
हाँ तुम्हार like for because एक जन शेयर करेगा ना, even if the other person is feeling that way, sometimes अगर तुम्हारा मन नहीं करे ना तो तुम बात नहीं करोगे उसके बारे में, बोले अरे यार इसकी बात
हाँ, मन में कुछ देर
स्टॉक्स की बात करने, मन में तुम्हें भी वही फील हो रहा है, बस
Stocks
तुम्हारी
के बारे में
वाइब.
बात कर. मतलब what have you thought of us, bro?
Listen, is that wrong?
Stocks के-
अगर
अबे-
फिर I meet you, you're like investment.
अबे तो
पैसे.
ये
अरे
तो personal attack लग रहा है मुझे थोड़ा सा.
नहीं, Agasthya and I actually do talk because like he is also open to, he's also one of the safe spaces, no, because I mean we've been friends for so long and
Yeah.
we've grown together. I think that has been like, even us being on this podcast and like being together, I think we've done so many things together. We like that.
It's been like a, yeah, bro. It's been like a journey. Like,
You were talking about brands, you guys becoming brands, and you know, once a creator came up to me and said that, hey, I have 400,000 followers, I'm not getting a brand that this creator is getting. Why is that? And I told the difference is this person has a brand, you are not yet a brand. Right? There are so many creators, you have 400,000 followers each, right? Like around
it's
450.
like 460.
There, I'm sure at least 200 more creators with 500 plus came in your similar category. At least 100.
Yeah.
And still, you know, you are probably 2 of 10 that I could remember. Actually, 2 of 5 or 6 that I could remember. So, in your own ways, you are brand, right? Creators are trying to become brands are trying to become creators. Brands be successful, brands be Zomato, Swiggy, maybe here and there, and then
Mumbai police.
Mumbai police on government brand. So, have you thought about this, that you guys now are a brand? And if yes, why do you think that has happened?
I definitely think that Agasthya Shah has become a brand now. I feel like I am that one kid on the internet. अगर तुम्हें कुछ dumb thought आता है दिमाग में कि तुम ये करना चाहते हो, मैं वो कर रहा हूँ रियल लाइफ में. ऐसा कुछ भी पागल हरकतें होगी या कुछ स्टूपिड लाइक आरे में रात को जाना है, हॉन्टेड जगह पे जाना है, यू नो, वी थिंक मैं कर रहा हूँ वो, यू नो. आई फील लाइक वो मेरा ब्रांड बन गया. एंड माई वन ऑफ माई बिगेस्ट aspects that I think it's come very organically is the fact that I'm, you know, trying to give the message that you can chase your dream too.
True, I have seen that, yeah.
And
Day one.
Yeah,
Billboard,
day
yeah.
one, yeah. I have tattoo, I have a cloud here also, which is
Dream
all. It's for the dream chasers, right? The Ag Fam, which is my community, we're a community of dream chasers. I have had people come up to me, and I remember specifically there was this one girl who came up to me and she said she wanted to become a poet, essentially. But she never put out her work because she was so scared what people will think, right? So it's not a poet, it's a singer who never put out her songs because she didn't know what people would think. She saw my 400k post where I explained my whole journey. And after that, she actually got signed by a label after putting 3 songs out.
Wow.
She started chasing her dream, essentially. And this is one, I'm sure
Insane.
there must be at least 5 people. Yeah.
100%.
You know, so that is what makes me happy. कि मैं बस वीडियो नहीं बना रहा, एक पर्पस है. People who follow me, they are looking कि चलो if Agastya is chasing his dream, he's being able to do these things, then I too can. Like even if I can do it, bro, anybody can do it. I really believe that.
Where does this confidence come from? Like I remember one of your stories, I think it was a billboard days where you put like 2-3 stories together and you know, this is the happiest day, completed dream.
Yeah, अरे bro.
You need guts to even
Agastya's
post that.
bucket list is
It's
ऐसे
scary.
मैं हर रोज बैठ के इसका मैंने तो उसको एक दिन पूछ लिया तेरी बकेट लिस्ट तो होने के बाद लिखता है क्या
मैंने दिखा दिया.
हम लोग हाँ फिर दैट डे ही जो शोड देख ले लिखा हुआ है मैंने I'm like because like touch wood but he's made everything happen and it's not like luck time whatever plays a part everybody's life but he's made things happen for him by working hard by making the right moves because everything in our life becomes a game eventually and today we are a brand we are also a business.
Yeah.
You are that is the reality of it. I'm a creator, I'm my own person and I love being that but on the back end it is my rosy
It's a
roti.
business, bro.
It is a business and he has made sure that every day he wakes up and he works towards those things and then he achieves it. It's not like हवे में उठ के कल उसको billboard मिल गया. He's worked towards it. He's made sure to make the right choices, make the right decisions to have those things ticked off his bucket list. So yeah.
Bro, if you are showing your wins or your successes to your audience, it is your responsibility to show them the lows also.
Yeah.
It's not fair for you show them this glorious life.
The highs.
You know, only the highs. तो फिर उनको एक false sense of वो हो जाता है कि if I'm chasing, especially for me, I think of it like this, that अगस्त्य ने बोला है chase your dreams, सब कुछ अच्छा ही होता है life में, you know, he's chasing his dreams, सब अच्छा ही हो रहा है. नहीं.
We're kind of like the Gen Zs are the ones who are like if you see the most emotional sad post of kids crying, not kids crying but like kids feeling emotions, it's all come from us.
Yeah.
We have all been the pioneers of putting feelings on Instagram.
That I agree.
We have been the ones who are writing like putting
very
out
good
the
point.
poems, putting out the like you know like even if it's in a like प्यार नहीं करना चाहिए कभी ठीक है वो सबको फील होता है एक बार तो सबके फेस में आता है कि क्यों किया यार प्यार वो तो सबको आता है बट वी आर द वंस हु आर मेकिंग इट कि हाँ दूसरे लोग भी जा रहे हैं गोइंग थ्रू इट
Exactly.
वी आर द वंस हु स्टार्टेड टू पुटिंग इट आउट सो मे बी आई थिंक the next gen will follow that and I think I've started seeing like abhi maine poems dali there are 4 people who have telling me that you know I've written so much but I never had it to voice it in me but because you've done it because we've seen the western culture mein kitna hota hai ye they only talk about feelings like I mean, only nahi but there are a good amount of people who do that there's a good amount of safe space to talk about mental health and everything India mein it's still not अब मैंने अगर एंग्जाइटी के बारे में बात कर दी ना तीसरा बंदा आके बोलेगा मेरे को तेरे से ज़्यादा ही है तू क्या बात कर रही है
Competition नहीं है.
उसमें हाँ तो अगस्त्य को मैंने जितना सुना दिया है अभी बोल रहा है कॉम्पिटिशन बट इट्स बिकम लाइक दैट बट आई फील लाइक इवन द फैक्ट दैट कॉन्वर्सेशंस आर स्टार्टिंग is a big deal for
This is cool.
the Indian younger
This is
generation.
very cool because she is also starting that it's okay to feel, it's okay to
Yeah.
do this message from her perspective, and I'm doing it from this perspective. She's doing it's okay to feel your feelings, you know, contributing in that way.
Yeah.
And my thing is it's okay to go after what you want without being scared if
Scared
you're
of
willing
it.
to work hard for it.
Yeah.
It's two different things, but it's so similar at the end of the day. You
Yeah,
know?
it's basically your brand is built on vulnerability and being genuine to your audience,
Yeah.
putting what you really feel out there.
Yeah.
Other people, including me, like me, are not doing it. We just probably show the good side of it, and like it's not like we don't want to show it. It's just that we feel like honestly, if I tell you about my story, I put it out on LinkedIn, but I didn't share the same
On Instagram.
thing on Instagram. I was like, no, bro, Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram पे
Judgment
personality
होता है
अलग
ना
है
यार,
हाँ.
bro. Everybody's scared of that little
Yeah.
कि ये
judgment.
बोल दिया तो
Correct. So, if you're a brand, how would you market this Gen Z?
Oh, bro, it's tough. I feel like
find your पहले तो find who you which type of Gen Z you want
है
to
ना?
market
Cohort
to
ढूंढो पहले,
हाँ
अपना
पहले तो
किसको
वही
target
ढूंढो
कर रहे हो?
exactly if you want like if see now streetwear is a big thing now everybody likes comfort clothing but comfort clothing has to look cool but at a point some people are very conscious about the materials they are wearing तो तुम if you're open to catering to that, go ahead, do that. And that's H&M also has a subconscious line. Zara is also coming with a subconscious line for a reason, because they have some people who really want that, and it's also promoting a great message. So that's really good. But it comes down to that also ki what are you open, how far are you open to going? Do you want to be a fast fashion people? There's an audience for everything. तुम पहले पकड़ोगे कौन सा, तुम्हें luxury जाना है तो luxury जाओ, go into like really luxury, like shoes if you want to. But then that is like jaywalking. Today we have jaywalking, which is a very very luxury streetwear, and then we have Burger Bay Bonkers, which is streetwear, which gives you very fast fashion. But both are selling in their own way to their own audience, or sub Gen Zs. So you have to catch, and you will find ways to cater to them, no? Then create the content, then find people to promote those products, then find like this. So once actually I was talking to, like, we were discussing Lakme and Maybelline, right? So Maybelline today is a very well known brand, like for Gen Z girls, okay? But Lakme is still something which is great going in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Why? Because it's come down from their mothers. It's something that's proven and tested. The first product that every little girl has used is something related to Lakme, क्योंकि मम्मी ने यूज़ किया था, वो घर पे वही available था. Now that you are growing older, then you make your own decisions. Now you are buying Maybelline because you see Maybelline's ambassadors, Suhana Khan, Ananya Birla. अब वो सबको देख के अभी they are our leaders, right? Lakme has करीना कपूर. तो तुम वो देख रहे हो कि कौन किसको कैसे cater करे. करीना कपूर will also cater to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Right, because Kareena Kapoor, everybody knows, movie star.
Correct.
Suhana Khan is still date Archie's. Archie's is catering to Gen Z. So everybody's playing a different game. You have to play a different game according to that.
Exactly. Like there are so many shows that are also coming out which are targeted to
Archie's, तो Archie's class purely Gen Z. ऊपर कोई देखे ही ना.
It's purely targeted to Gen Z. OTT in itself has taken such a big turn. Even Mismatched.
Yeah.
You know, it was targeted. I mean, that was a little millennial also, but primarily I feel Gen Zs. Like Asa's show, Half CA.
Yeah.
It talks about being, the journey of how somebody was half CA and then became.
Yeah.
But it's still, I don't know, bro. When I saw the first 2-3
It
episodes,
was not that restrictive. It was restrictive.
I really like that about the show. Screening पे the first 2 episodes were like, I was like, मैंने घर पे जाके पूरा complete देखा. मैं CA के around कुछ किया भी नहीं या करूँगा भी नहीं. But मेरे को connect हुआ, bro, story.
Feel हुई. और सुना भी है ना बहुत.
Exactly.
We've heard so many stories.
I feel like what has happened in the last 5 to 7 years, broadly, I'd say 3 to 4, but if I had to take broadly, initially क्या होता था, bro? Either it's a H&M t-shirt or a West Side t-shirt, let's say, जो 1000-1500 रुपए की थी. Yeah, it was a Gucci t-shirt. Yeah, it was a Louis Vuitton t-shirt or something like that. अभी क्या हो गया है? बीच का एक लेवल बन चुका है. Either it was तुम Nikes पहन रहे हो या Nikes भी नहीं, bro. तुम Reebok या Skechers पहन रहे हो स्कूल में, that was a cool shoe.
Yeah.
Or you're wearing a Gucci or again a Louis Vuitton.
No, you have a
और a Bata.
अभी और a Bata.
अभी तो Bata भी था.
Now you have different. Now, bro, the entire Jordan culture. Jordans, like the normal Jordan. I'm not talking about the extreme hype one. They are more expensive than a Skechers or a Bata, but they are way less than a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton. That new kind of middle niche of market has been created, and that is where the Gen Zs are thriving right now.
Yeah.
The mid-range where you feel like you are a little above somebody, but you're also not. And like the thing is, it matters to some, it just doesn't matter to the other. It
makes you feel like you belong to this tribe.
हाँ. और वो भी तुम्हें अगर belong करना है तो करोगे, वरना
तो
तुम्हें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
otherwise फर्क नहीं पड़ता. For me personally, I just buy what I like.
हाँ.
Success. What does success mean to you? In general, in our industry, it's followers, it's like, it comments, it's number of brand deals, it's amount of the brand money. That's how we're judged, right? Like from outside perspective, and by brands, that's how a brand judges. कि तारिणी शाह number कितना है वो बताओ. Like in
Engagement
brands,
rate
they'll
क्या है?
first see the followers and then they'll see the names and then they'll see the content. It should actually be the opposite, right? But currently that's how things are. So how do you deal with that bit? Like what's the story you've told yourself? Okay, this is not success for me. Success for me is XYZ. What is that XYZ for you both of you?
For me, I don't think I've defined it yet. I think in our industry, because there is no benchmark. आगे लोग करते ही जा रहे चीजें.
What do you mean?
मतलब, if you're a corporate, you have your positioning, you're VP, you're Whooper, you're CEO,
अच्छा,
you're
वैसे,
वैसे
हाँ.
अपने इसमें है ही नहीं. It's undefined.
Correct.
You are at a point where Ashish Chanchlani is successful, Bhuvan Bham is successful, Prajakta Kohli is successful, Carrie Minati is successful. Everybody is doing different things. I think the definition of success for me is still not defined, because if I define it, no, then I limit myself. If I say कि I'm
Then what are you
success,
chasing?
I think I'm gonna take it year by year. कि इस साल में ना.
What are you chasing this year?
This year I'm chasing I feel I will be successful this year if I manage to understand and put out not very high production, but production enough content to get my audience acquainted to more cinematic stuff, and for them to expect that out of creators.
You're creating a category.
Yeah, मेरे में वो होता है, क्योंकि if I say ना कि I'll be a successful person if I host a show, तो फिर मैं उसको ही चेंज करूंगी. फिर उसके अलावा अगर मेरे साथ कुछ भी होगा तो दैट इज नॉट सक्सेस. So I feel because it's so हमारे इसमें इतना undefined है, तो it's actually great because then it opens up everything for you. Today Bhuvan Bam would have defined his success at maybe getting like 15-20 million on his YouTube video. अगर उसने कभी उस पर डिफाइन कर दिया तो वो खुश होकर बैठ जाता.
ताज़ा खबर नहीं बनाता.
Takeshi's Castle he's hosting.
Yeah.
So what? Like you would never expect that.
GG.
You would never expect that. But he's doing it. तो अगर उसने डिफाइन कर दिया, अगर उसने सक्सेस ताज़ा खबर पे भी डिफाइन कर दी होती तो वो आगे नहीं जाता. So I feel for me it's that way कि keep going. And I think content, once you have to feel content with yourself, क्योंकि हमें इतना आगे बढ़ना होता है ना, constantly there's new things. You just be content with yourself and I think you will be okay.
I have
Something like that.
I have a slightly different way of how I define success. My definition of success is not no, fuck that.
Chop.
That's the last thing.
What did you remind me?
Gadi.
Nahin, I genuinely have a very different way of how I look at success. If somebody, or if I am successful, right, for myself, I don't equate 100% of it with my work. I feel like that is the worst thing anybody can do. कि अगर आप आपके career में successful हो, तो you're successful in life.
Yeah.
The richest person, the most successful person in the world, successful in work. But what does being a success really mean? Are you successful in the relationships you have? Are you successful in the friendships you have? Are you successful with your physical state?
Yeah.
You can be the number one in your industry, but if you don't have people to share it with, if you don't have family, friends, if your health is garbage, are you really successful?
True. Yeah.
But that's why what I like to think about success is that I'm as successful today in my head as I would be in 10 years or I was, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like success is an everyday thing for me. If I can get up, push myself to be better than what I was yesterday, do that one thing कि अगर मेरे को आज नहीं वर्कआउट करना, ताकत नहीं है बॉडी में, शूट करके पूरा दिन आया हूँ, बट मैं उठ के जिम बैग उठा के जिम तक गया, मैंने even if I did half of what my normal workout was,
That's successful.
that's a success, bro.
True.
क्योंकि अगर आप किसी चीज पे डिफाइन कर लोगे कि मेरे को 1 million followers, that is success for me, like she said. If you define 1 million followers as success for me, what happens is you will hate yourself until you get there, and guess what? After you get there, there is always the next one.
You'll be like, अब क्या? Up next. पकड़ो.
You can't define success by numbers. That is what I've learned very early on, and I'm so grateful that I learned this. So I equate success to different things in life, and truly living a balanced life is success for me. When I say this now, I define success like this. People think कि ठीक है, it's easy to say, but what if you really want things in life? Work को important. They equate it with money basically. Correct? कि आप work को importance, that number, it's equated with money. They're like, if you have money, you'll be able to buy yourself nice things. You'll be able to buy yourself things that you dreamed of. I'm not saying don't do that. Like अभी तुम लोग बोल लिए ये watch भी मेरे लिए तो वही था bro. So I'm not saying कि मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But this is more than a watch for me.
Yeah.
It is that thing that भाई 10 साल पहले मेरे सपनों में भी मैंने नहीं सोचा होगा कि I would buy such a watch ever, let alone right now.
Yeah.
So this is also not success. It's wrong, bro. People think कि इसने if you buy your dream car, you buy your
For yours.
It's to remind
It's good
you.
to reward.
Yeah.
It's good to reward yourself.
I recently changed that. Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's
It's a
good to
reward.
reward yourself. Because if you do, bro, I have this logic, okay? If you don't spend a little bit of what you're making on yourself to make you happy, what the fuck will motivate you to earn more?
True.
अगर आप कुछ, I'm not saying पागलों जैसे खर्चा करो, but I'm saying if you don't
लेकिन
spend or save up for that one thing, तुम्हें तो motivation कैसे आएगी next चीज के लिए save up करने?
फिर ऐसा लगेगा तुम काम करते जाओ बैठे
क्यों
रहोगे।
कर रहे हो?
क्यों कर रहे हो?
क्या मिल रहा है मुझे?
Exactly.
क्या हो रहा है? वो आ जाता है। And yeah, I think completely makes sense. It's also like people say that you're living the dreams that like you're living the prayers you prayed for.
2017 से मेरे पास पोस्ट है, मेरे सबसे स्पैम अकाउंट पे उस 28 फॉलोअर्स या कुछ है, मैं यूज भी नहीं करता, मैं 10th में यूज करता था। मैंने कुछ भी वियर्ड कपड़े पहन लिए थे और मैंने एक पोस्ट डाल दिया था, वन डे व्हेन आई एम समथिंग आई विल वेयर वैकी एस आउटफिट्स लाइक दिस, आई विल सेंड यू द फोटो इफ यू वांट पुट ऑन स्क्रीन,
my God.
भेज दूंगा मैं।
You
और मैं
use the
कुछ तो
word
कैप
wacky.
पहन रहा था ब्लैक और कुछ तो कॉलर पहन रहा था, एंड माय फ्रेंड्स रिमाइंड मी ऑफ दैट पोस्ट टुडे कि भाई कि नाउ यू वेयर ब्रो आई वेयर डम क्लोथ्स समटाइम्स बिकॉज़ आई लाइक टू,
Yeah.
but it's like we're living
Yeah,
what we prayed for.
And it's also like I think you should once in a while go and look back. I think it's
It's
a good
really
thing
fun.
to do, because I remember my massive post for my 100K and then not celebrating 200, 300, 400, anything.
So thank you guys for doing this.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
I hope you guys had fun.